What ho, chaps, how the devil? Here's an interesting thing for us to look at. It is possibly the most frivolous lawsuit in the history of planet Earth, and this is a planet that has brought you such tales of legend as man sued by dirty burglar, sex pest sues Apple because he faps incessantly, or my personal favourite, Pisshead sues brewery because brewery was slightly larger than Pisshead expected. I mean, Christ, I know a few pissheads. Have you seen them champing at the bit outside Booze Busters? They don't care how it comes. You could serve them a can of special brew in a tramp's shoe and they'd still drink it. Anyway, this defeats all of them, I shit you not. And let me say, you can tell a lot about someone by their political persuasion. I think the type of person that would launch a lawsuit this frivolous would typically be some sort of artsy-farty, you know the types I'm talking about. They're always yoga instructors, they've never had a proper job, they complain about the system even though they've got criminal records, purple hair and a coach ball fired through the tongue. It's all the world's fault that I'm a fucking loser. These are the type of people I'm expecting frivolous lawsuits from. Let's have a read, shall we? Obviously, the BBC's shot the cock out. BBC's covering the bases there. Weird, because they don't do the due diligence in anything important, but they don't want to show you a baby's fucking bowels. Bit weird at that age as well. I mean, how's that going to impact his life in any possible way? You can't tell. You're not going to bump into him when he's 30 and go, "I've seen your cock, fella." He's too young. It's ridiculous. I fail to see how this would impact on your life in any way other than positively, because you're going to get fellow artsy-farty twats going, "Oh, he was on Nirvana's album cover. Oh, I'll take a photo of him." It says Spencer Eldon, the man who was photographed as a baby on the album cover for Nirvana's Nevermind, is suing the band alleging sexual exploitation. The cover depicts Eldon as a 4-month-old in a swimming pool, grasping for a dollar bill that's been dangled in front of him. Now 30, Eldon says his parents never signed a release authorising the use of his image. Well, you were 4 months old, mate. I'm pretty sure that they knew for a fact that nobody was going to stop you in the street 30 years later. He also alleges the Nude Institute's child pornography. Listen, I don't spend much time around certified nonces, but I don't think, just from what appears to be the typical age range of nonces, right? I don't think Gary Glitter is fapping himself over pictures of 4-month-old. I mean, essentially, when you're that age, you basically look like an amorphous frog thing, don't you? 95% of the nonsing, when you see it on all these vigilante groups on Facebook, it appears to be blokes shagging, 13-year-old girls, as they've actually got towards some degree of maturity, not snatching them off maternity wards. It just seems like that's vanishingly rare, fortunately. But what do I know? Maybe I don't spend enough time with the pedo fraternity. The images exposed Spencer's intimate body parts and lasciviously displayed his genitals. From the time he was an infant to the present date, well, I'll tell you what, Spencer, if you've still got the same size cock now as you did when you were 4 months old, you have got a fucking problem, son. But it's not Nirvana's fault that you've got a dick like a twiglet. Non-sexualised photos of infants are not considered pornography, obviously. His lawyer also argues that the inclusion of the dollar bill makes the minor seem like a sex worker. Yeah, you see them all the time. If you go to Mexico, you see 4-month-old hookers dressed in leather parading up and down the main drag with a whip and a gimp mask. What a pile of shite. His identity and legal name are forever tied to the commercial sexual exploitation he experienced as a minor. I think we're done here, aren't we? We're done. Let's see if it backs up my initial claims about the individual making such a case, shall we? Let's see if he's a hard-working, diligent plumber, a scaffolder, or a bus driver, shall we? Straight away. Long-haired, scruffy twat, loads of tattoos. He's got the Nevermind tattoo on his chest. I mean, fucking, there's a clue. It's clearly been something that he's buzzed off his entire life, yeah. Probably the first thing he says if you meet him, he's one of them boring twats. Meet him at the party. "All right, mate, I was on the cover of Nevermind. That was me. Me. Look at me. This is my 14th girlfriend of the week. I met her on an app. She's a yoga instructor. Nobody gives a shit, Eldon. You should look in the mirror and cringe with shame, you fucking loser. He said he's recreated the album cover several times. He's recreated the album cover. I'll tell you what, yeah, if I felt like I'd been raped, I'd want to recreate it every chance I got me. I'd be all over that shit. Exploit me again. It's like Bill Cosby. Obviously, Bill Cosby raped a few women, but some of them were the exact same thing. One of them said he raped her 40 times over a 3-year period. Now, I'm sorry, if I went out for a drink with one of you, dear listeners, and the next morning I woke up with a very sore head and an even sorer arsehole, I'm sorry, I wouldn't be coming for a pint next weekend, right? Pretty simple. So he's done it loads of times. He posed for the 10th, 20th and 25th anniversary. However, he's bollocks. Now he said he's expressed ambivalence. Yeah, he's done it a dozen times. He's got it tattooed on his bird's nest. But all of a sudden he's upset. I'll tell you what he's upset about. Because now he's pushing into his 30s and he's still a fucking dateless loser without a proper job and no money. So he's trying to cash in. And look at this. He said in an interview with The Guardian 6 years ago, it's always been a positive thing and opened doors for me. So, absolute weasel, oxygen thief of a man. This is unreal. So yeah, we know, and there he is. I'm 23 now and an artist, and this story gave me the opportunity to work with Shepard Fairey for 5 years. It was awesome. He's a connoisseur, yeah. You fucking Nimrod. What an absolute chiseler. Let me give you some advice to close out. Mr. Eldon, cut your hair, have a shave, stop posing for photographs now you're not prepubescent, get a job interview and work as a clerk in a bank. Try and meet a girl who isn't morbidly obese, has purple hair, and a head full of metal shit. Get married, maybe have a couple of kids. Get owled, and stop dripping about frivolous shit. Yeah? Happy to help, Mr. Eldon. Happy to help. I look forward to you embarking on your new career, not being a walking toilet. Yes? One thing though, I will not be employing him. And for anybody else listening that's thinking of launching a frivolous lawsuit, let me give you some advice. Your conscience is your own inward monitor. You should be looking at the man who stares back at you when you have a shave and be proud of what you see. If you're willing to throw your principles, your self-respect and your integrity out of the window just to get some cash, it will not go well for you. Money doesn't buy happiness. It sounds cliched, but it's true. It might be easy for me to say that because I hail from Middlesbrough and I didn't know what pasta was until I joined the military. I thought the height of sophistication was having a pack of Benson and Edges instead of smoking Rollies. But I've had a good life and I've done quite well for myself. And all my money is just sitting there, or it's in stocks or bonds or doing something, because I don't have any interest in jewels or clothes or fancy cars. Being centred and happy with what you have, and having friends and family and being fit in body and mind is what makes you a happy person. It isn't buying the new shiny shit that'll end up rusting and worthless in a couple of years anyway. It doesn't do anything good for you. So seriously, those of you that worship cash, probably the biggest ill of the modern age, it is. Give your head a shake. Reevaluate what's actually important to you. You weren't going to buy anything useful with your money anyway. You're only going to waste it on shite. Turn your back on worshipping the dollar. Focus on building a strong body and a strong mind and personal relationships with people. And never allow thoughts of material gain to turn you into a gibbering shit cunt like this guy. I'll see you guys at 7 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Cheers.